Mario
and Bruh,
where we explore voices that quietly change the world. Today's guest has walked through the fire of addiction and emerged with a mission to light the way for others.
So Muji, a former drug addict turned visionary, founder of Wellness Sanctuary, joins us today to share his raw, inspiring journey and the transformative work he's doing to help others reclaim their lives. This is a story of redemption, resilience, and the power of second chances. Welcome to episode 33.
Mujahid, Mr. AK Muji, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you for having me. It's an honor being here. A bit crazy, but yeah, I deal with crazier things on the daily.
Lekker, lekker. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time to come out to talk to tomorrow. So let's get right into it, guys. All right, Muji. So, Talks to Tomorrow, we want to know a lot about you. So let's start with your story. Take us back to your darkest moments of addiction. Share what sparked your journey. But also in between these things, I also want to simplify things. Because they say partying is the gateway, or maybe the alcohol, or whatever it may be. So from your darkest moments to where you are, give us that whole story. How did you start? 18 years old, 12 years old?
Okay, it started
go
at
back.
16, 17 years old. I started partying. Trance parties were my thing. I was
Okay.
the highlight. I was the show host at every trance party. Later on, I got introduced to cocaine.
Okay.
I was one of the first colored cocaine addicts in Cape Town. I'm still, my nose bone is still gone. So
Okay.
I'm still unbeaten and undefeated.
Okay.
Nothing to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Years went by, lost it all. Fucked up, ended up in dark situations, ended up in the locations because you can't trust the colored while you busy getting high. One thing led to another. The stealing came about.
Okay.
Conning people came about, which
Mm.
obviously I patched up everything.
Lovely.
I'm not, what they say, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the cocaine became a bit too expensive.
Mm.
And then I turned to the whole thing and it was like, oh, that was dark.
Yeah.
Really dark.
Ah.
Turned dark. I ended up running away from family. I lost
Okay.
a daughter through addiction. Not
Okay.
my fault. Yeah, I wasn't there. I was high as a kite, so that was my darkest. And through that, having a supportive partner
Lovely.
who didn't give up because everyone gave up. It was like,
Mm.
fuck no, there's no more. I was thinner than one of the sticks at the unit. I could do backflips through a straw.
Mm-hmm.
And I was into the towing industry. Later on,
Okay.
we sold a house in Milnerton. We moved down to Namibia thinking that would help.
Okay.
And then I turned to alcohol because
Mhm.
there's not much drugs down there.
it's
And
another
I
vice.
became a nice alcoholic. And then it got a bit darker where I turned to suicide. I took I think it was a handful of a whole pot of Xanax.
Whoa.
And, or Xanax or Pirates, I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the next moment I woke up, I was in hospital with this thing down my throat and I was like, what the flip?
Mm.
And I looked up and I thought it was God, but it was my mother and she was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Mm.
And it came back down to Cape Town because it didn't work down there. Had it a bit tough down here for the first couple of months, and then that has always been my dream, my vision, my goal, even before addiction started, to eventually help people, because I grew up with a lot of addicts, not knowing that one day I would eventually be the addict and I would be going down this path to the extent where I would be locked up. I would be doing whatever it takes.
Yes, yes.
Gangsterism I didn't turn to, thank God for that.
Mm.
And after that, I came back to Cape Town. I started again with the tick, the buttons, ended up with the wrong circle.
Okay.
And yeah, when I saw everyone's doors were closed,
Mm.
I thought, wait, this is the end of it.
Mm.
And I reached out again. I said, like, Mom, and I spoke to my wife and I said, like, Wasila, like, please, one more chance.
Oh.
And they were like, how many more chances?
Can
Yeah.
we give you?
The tears are dried up already. But
Yeah.
I'm waiting for, like, please cry, like, you know.
Mm. They're really dark
So
inside.
dark inside, like I've been crying 100 times.
Mm.
I've been to 4 facilities in Cape Town.
Okay.
And what sparked me after that was, after the loss of my daughter, my baby, took me a while. I actually blamed everybody for it. And then I came to realize that it's only me that can take myself out of it. With the support, obviously, that I got.
Goosebumps.
And eventually I got to a point where I've been asking them in active addiction, like, let's open up a facility. And they were like,
Really?
Keep dreaming.
Is that really gonna happen?
I pulled a clean time. Eventually, I said, look, let's start looking for a facility.
Okay.
I got promised X amount from good friends of ours, which then turns out blew up in my face. I eventually found a place after 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, and I'm still there now. And that is how Wellness Sanctuary started.
Right, wow, sad, inspired, but yet so powerful. I mean, wow. Thank you so much for sharing all the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
You got in there. If that didn't touch you guys, I don't know what's going to touch you.
Yeah, one thing is that your story is so relatable.
No,
Right?
definitely.
We all have been touched by drugs in some way, whether it's relative or ourselves or whatever. So for you to come here on this platform and in your own wellness sanctuary is such a great campaign, great thought process, and I'm just wishing that this can actually extend. So we are excited to hear more about it.
Definitely, there's much more.
No, definitely, that's great. And yet again, thank you so much. I really got goosebumps just listening to that. So, with all your experiences, now you're trying to inspire people, and now we got Wellness Sanctuary. Wow, well done. Tell me, what does it mean to you to offer hope to other people?
Well, what it means to me is it's my life. I love for it now. Myself and my family, we love for it. Not just myself. We lose sleep. I ended up in hospital. I'm sitting here, I'm drained. We try and take time out, but to me it means like the world, like just helping the next addict. Because I'm not just helping the addict, I'm helping a family. And when I help that family, it's about 10, 20, 30 people that benefits from this addict that makes that change.
I'm struck by the focus on your holistic healing. Can you share how unique offerings like ozone therapy, trauma counseling, or even nutritious catering help clients rebuild their lives?
Well, look, I think we are one of the first facilities that offer ozone therapy. Ozone therapy doesn't only work for detox, it works for cancer, it works for numerous things. It is a very expensive machine.
Okay.
The benefit that I got there is she's been selling it for 16 years.
Wow.
So we've been living with it. It has helped through my withdrawals. It helps with exercising, putting more oxygen in the body, and I think just to get a step ahead of the rest, because I've been around and I'm not trying to put anybody down. Well done to everybody at every facility in Cape Town and all over. And you know, we are trying now. I am into the whole Reiki thing so that I can pass that down as well, because it works for me.
Yeah.
The breathing exercises, the waking up at
chakras.
4, yes, the chakras,
Nice,
and
love it.
lining it up. And you
Lekker.
know, you first do your chakras and then you do your salah, and then
Nice.
you know, without God, we go nowhere.
100%.
You'll stay stuck.
What is the ozone therapy for those that don't? I know it's like this big dome thing. Is it that?
No. It's actually, it fits in the bag similar to this.
Really?
It's a blue
So
mat.
better with the size.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you put it into the bath. It's got a mat with about 100 and something jets on it. And
Okay.
then it's got a pipe, and then it's the little machine. So the little machine makes the magic, and the pipe pushes the ozone through, and then the mat does more magic. So you get your ozone therapy, full body massage, aromatherapy, hydroheat therapy. It's like
So there's water
yeah, you put it in the bath, you put it into your
water.
bath, and then you just start getting sexy.
That must be the slogan for this.
Yeah.
Get sexy. Don't get
Yeah.
milkshakes. Get sexy.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
Nick, I love it. So the Wellness Sanctuary creates a drug-free, positive environment with tools, like you mentioned, that can trigger. Well,
Yeah, we've got a social worker on board. I've got
Okay.
a counselor on board. We give classes. We've got we do the 12-step. We do the NA. We do a bit more of life and lifestyles also.
Okay.
Because I know normally when I was in a facility and I would never listen to the person that has got a book and a page that's gonna put it there in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, you know what?
We need action.
Nah, dude. There's nothing you can tell me. I've walked this road for 11 years. So, but now I've come to understand that a bit of me and a bit of that together makes we get a winning team.
All right. So I mean, so we've got the ozone. So these elements really help strengthen everybody. Is it an ongoing thing? How many sessions does people need?
Look, it all depends on the
Determines.
person. Yeah, because look, sometimes they are very lazy. So
Okay.
they'll jump in it once, twice, and then, oh no, this is so good because also we've got a nurse on board. So there's medication, there's a 5-day detox period. So it's either or.
And when you say for them they're lazy to get in, but it means they need to come to the sanctuary first, number one. They need to be there, or do they stay on board, or
They stay there for between
Okay.
8 weeks, some stay there for
Okay.
6 months, some stay there for a year,
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
and some just don't feel like leaving.
Is it a free service?
Oh, no, it's not a free service. Unfortunately,
No.
I would have loved for it to be
Of
free.
course.
We are busy with the government at the moment,
Nice.
and I had to fight with him to actually realize that like this is my cause, this is what I'm gonna die for. So we'll work as a team.
Okay.
Because if we're not gonna work as a team, I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But like let's be friends soon. So
Yeah.
we are like we're working together now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, lovely. I like that.
I love the emphasis on aftercare. Why is ongoing support so vital for sustaining recovery? And how does it inspire clients to envision a brighter future?
Okay, so aftercare is very important. When they are done with their 8-week program, which is a minimum primary care, we advise them to come in every second weekend.
Okay.
As a check-in.
It's a small sacrifice
Mm.
for a long time gain. Look, the places they I'm there 24/7. I promise you, like 10% of the time, my kids are like who's this dude or who's their mom? I'm here because it's a safety net. So I try and push everyone that's there, like to come in every second weekend, spend a weekend, come and refuel yourself, and then go out there again. Because if you do stay away, then the relapse is waiting for you.
You can just slip into it so easily.
Very, very easy.
Especially when you're still in the same environment,
There we go.
facing the same
So you need to
people.
build up and build new habits and change. Yeah. Because remember, I'm not there when you leave, which I wish I could be there with all of them when they leave. But
That's not
yeah,
life.
that's,
Yeah.
I can't be babying more babies.
No, of course. You look really inspired that you turn your personal pain into purpose for your driven business. Tell me, what's the hardest part of starting this venture and getting this venture going every single day?
Well, the hardest part is those who don't want to change. I can't force you to change. We deal with a lot of rumors, we deal with a lot of stress, we deal with a lot of stubborn people, we
Of
deal
course,
with
wow.
a lot of parents who are still in denial, where they tell you to pick a child up, you fix a child, and then like all of a sudden the child comes with a normal thing that I think most addicts have been through, that have been through facility. They're not giving me enough meat, or they are treating me differently, all these scapegoats. So and that breaks my heart because like why are you not trying to get out? Because there's a way out.
Yeah.
I thought there was no way out. Honestly, I never saw the light. I just thought I'm stuck here. This is my new life. I'm gonna get me a new pick and pay Ferrari that I need to push around or so that's one of the hardest challenges that we do face. And then it's also that you know, I don't know if I am the youngest in the industry, but jumping out of nowhere into the industry, my old account on TikTok got banned, which was at 36,000 followers. I've started over again, and it's hard, man. So like I don't really post as much as I would. I just when it comes,
When the moment happens.
Yeah, when it happens, it happens.
No liquor. All right.
So, Margie, you've witnessed incredible transformations at your wellness sanctuary,
Definitely.
right? So, can you share a story that, well, obviously without names,
I can share names as well.
yeah, that basically shows the power of recovery.
Look, I've had my first group were all experienced rehab junkies, if I can call it that. They were banned, they were blacklisted, there were 15 of them, and up until today, they're still clean. They're pushing a year, 6 months. November the 19th, we'll have our second anniversary.
That's my
The
birthday.
19th, sorry, the 19th, and they're still pushing clean time. So yeah,
Wow,
and
phenomenal.
it's been a challenge because like it was a bunch of grown-ups, and heroin is something I've never tried before. Thank God for that. And they were all heroin addicts, so it was like moods, it was like everything, but we pulled through.
No.
That's a
Amazing.
success story, honestly.
And I mean, for people listening right now, we've got a few listeners, and for people that are battling with addiction, what do you tell them to spark hope? What is that one point? How can they spark that hope to change, encourage them to take that first step to step into the wellness sanctuary?
Honesty.
Easy.
honest
So
and
easy, but so
truthful.
hard.
Very, very hard. Being honest and taking that first step, like I've heard people say, like I'm gonna come in today, I'm gonna come in tomorrow, and like just putting that that foot forward it's very hard. I've been there, I've tried, I've ran away, I've done every trick in the book, but yeah, eventually when I took the step and I made the intention, and I'm sitting where I'm sitting today.
Beautiful, amazing,
Well done.
amazing.
Yeah, so the Wellness Sanctuary also offers anger management
Definitely.
and life
That's why I'm
skills
there.
coaching. So how do you do these programs? How does it help clients not just recover, but thrive in their new lives.
Look, how it helps them with the anger management or things like that. That is something we deal with on a daily because look, I've got gangsters that come in there from different backgrounds. I've got children who hold their parents hostage, and all we do is we kill them with love. Even though they bring you to a point where you want to like, but it's not your monkey, not your circus. And the love that we give them is something that they don't even get it of. I promise you, we get bombarded from the minute we walk in there till the minute we walk out. Whether I tell you that, look guys, you cannot speak to me the whole day. They don't care. They don't care. I can't even deal with my own problems. And what I have done is I've actually partnered up with a call center.
Okay.
So we do offer them jobs. There's a construction company involved because not everybody is ready for that. So there's more hope and it's something new that we are doing. So yeah.
I recently saw, I think it was on TikTok today, something about Table View or something new opening. Or we like to speak about that or not? You said you're allowed to.
What happened
I love it.
Look, a lot of people, because this account is small, a lot of people know me from the previous account. So when they do see the two of us walking in a mall, which we seldomly do, they duck and dive me. Because like even the vehicle that I drive, everybody knows it's the blue bucky. So when they see this vehicle, they tend to run for their lives because they think it's like over.
You're coming for them,
I'm coming, yeah. Your parents phoned me or your wife phoned me or your partner phoned, and I'm coming.
You're holding them accountable.
Yeah, now we need to fix you now and they,
So is there something a new one's opening in Table View or?
No.
You don't want to comment on it?
We not for Table View. We are heading towards Stellenbosch.
Okay, no, amazing.
We need to be on the outskirts, on the farms, watching the sunset.
Okay. And tell me, how big is like your staff at Wellness Sanctuary?
Well, my staff now at the moment there are 5, 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, how many clients do you have? Is it like what? Is it manageable? Is it because it differs every day?
Man.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, we'll keep it at
man. No problem. Okay, thank you for sharing that. So, man, we'll keep it as a man. How does people reach out to you? Besides TikTok?
Besides TikTok, we've got a website.
Yes.
Sanctuary.co.za. And then obviously my phone number, which is all over the internet. They can reach us on Google. And they can just ask. Cape Town knows, Eastern Cape knows me, Durban knows me. I picked him up as far as East London, Durban, definitely.
I think that was my next question. Like, what is the catchment area? Like, is it specific areas or is it just people that are willing to be here?
If you're giving your mother a hard time, or your father, or your wife, or your children, and I get that phone call, I'm coming. I'm coming. I promise you, I'm coming. I've got my law firm behind me. I've got a attorney behind me. So we sort out the letters as long as your family signs it. We get you sectioned and then I come and fetch you. No matter where you are, even if it takes us 48 hours to get to where you are, I'm coming to fetch you. And so far, we've got 100% success rate with my team.
Wow, amazing.
There's basically so many families that they feel destitute. They feel like, oh my gosh, I can never save my son or my daughter or whatever, and it breaks families.
It does.
Like, so,
it's very traumatic, it's traumatizing, and it's coming from an addict, And some families are kept hostage, sadly, and some are even covering up, like, you can't know it's my son or my daughter, so I'll rather feed the little addict in the back room than bring it out in the open.
And tell me, you sound like a very busy man, like you say, you wake up at 4 o'clock, so a day in the life of Gucci. 4 o'clock, what do we do?
Problems.
So give us a rundown. Tell you go lay down.
Right, so in the morning when I wake up, I obviously have my alarm, I'll start my breath work. After that, I'll wait for my prayer time and then I'll start stressing because I've got 2 phones.
Okay, of course.
So the one is like the wellness phone, the one is my personal phone.
Of course.
Which I'll only look at about 7 o'clock.
Okay, that's good.
Because if I'm going to look at the wellness phone any earlier in the year, that this one for the over sugar or that one stole, that one's chips. Because remember, there's moods, there's and unfortunately we are, myself and my wife are the only people who can like just sort it out.
Yes.
Because like a whole testosterone between the males or the females. Then we need to get done, shower, drop the kids at school, go to the wellness, and then our day starts morning meeting, which I don't get time to do a lot anymore because I'm drained, I'm beyond drained. I've been running now for a year, almost 2 years where I've been running. I'm in recovery myself, which a lot of people tend to forget. So they try and just badger.
Do.
Yeah, like we try and take a break every month, and then our phones go ballistic. It's like, where is the, like, when do I get time to
Offline.
rest? Yeah, like rest and reflect. Yes, I understand. But there is other phone numbers to contact. The team is ready. So from a Monday to a Friday, we're there. Saturdays and Sundays, we're there. That is our lives. Our kids hardly see us. They'll see us when we pick them up from school,
Oh wow.
or take them to the barber, or in and out of a shop. And yeah, that is our lives. We like there. Then I'm between the call center, which I try and spend like an hour or two at if I don't get disturbed. Because you know, you can't put all your eggs in one basket anymore. And also to empower the future generation, you need to show them that there is more to life, there is opportunity.
Do you write a lot of things, or do you keep it all here? Is that your iPad?
Yeah, and these my other iPads.
No, lovely. Wow, hectic, eh?
So that's where everything happens. All my documents, all my meetings, all the court dates that they come with, whatever's done there goes through there. And
So you support them through court dates and everything.
Everything.
Because I mean, it's tough, right?
court
And you
dates, divorces,
Yes.
trying to fix marriages, mend families, we do it all.
Because I mean, it's high risk for a relapse if they're going through so much stresses. What a normal person think is a normal day's stress could be a trigger for them, you know.
Yeah, exactly, and that is something that I go through on a daily where I'm like,
Tried
you
and
know,
tested.
I've tried, I'm tested, I'm badgered to a point where I just look at them and I'm like, whoa, is this really what we deserve?
Yeah.
And then I need to remind myself, if I do end up doing anything stupid, I'll end up in my own facility because my mother doesn't play, nor does she play. I was warned already. One if I will put it out there on TikTok that you'll be in your own facility and we'll be taking over, which it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen, it's definitely not gonna happen.
No,
Wow,
wait.
you really liked the nation, eh? And I can't thank you enough for telling your story and sitting with us here today and bringing your whole entourage, like people, eh?
Yeah, now I have to, because if someone phones now that I need to pick somebody up, I can't do it on my own.
And I always see like on your TikTok, when people's like, I check the comments of your TikTok, then you always tagging, I need help, then you tagging people, who you tagging?
Okay, so when I need help, I would tag, there's a company called CDS.
Okay, I
There's
see
a car
that.
sales as Hazis, and there's Beyond the Vision, that is a catering company,
Okay,
which backs me up all
amazing.
the time. Yeah.
Okay, so you always tag at the same accounts on, is that the, am I looking right there?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes,
they need help, and then you'll just tag.
yeah, because
that's-
that is where the help comes from.
Okay.
That's people who are sincere to the cause,
Nice.
who also come from with all have family members who've been through it, who've been through our program, and who are still doing very well.
Okay, no,
Such great
amazing.
support from so many people, and I just hope that it expands more. Hopefully, this platform also puts the name
No,
out there.
100%.
Yeah. So yeah, Muji, I don't even know that I'm a social worker, and I've been
Wow.
through many situations, both professionally and personally, with drugs and very close to my heart, family members going through it,
Yeah.
has been through it, and still struggling now. As someone that's been through it, at what point, and I should actually ask your wife this, at what point does your words actually mean something? Because I've heard the stories, no, I'm so
Good one.
sorry, I'm going to be clean. And it's the same shit every time. But I'm hopeful now because something did happen now and a change has happened, but it's only been a couple of months. There is that real change.
Look, to be very honest with you, words mean nothing. I'm living proof that. Sure, hectic. It's
Not a laughing matter, actually.
no, words mean nothing until they are action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was riding off everyone's backs. I never wanted to listen to anyone. What I said, you needed to listen to. Otherwise, I would just walk out and use that as an excuse. Words mean nothing, man.
But now when, like, look, I've given this person clean slate, truly a clean slate, where I said I won't hold anything against you, and that's a lot. That's a lot of pain. That's a lot of tears. That's a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
Right. That it's you're not even hurt anymore, like you said. There's no more tears. You're just like, I expected it. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm at this point like, okay, I'm hopeful, but when's the other shoe gonna drop? When is this person gonna fuck up again? Basically, What do you say to a family member? And I'm a family member. And I'm telling you, I've lost all hope. But
You shouldn't.
mm,
You shouldn't. To be very honest with you, don't lose all hope.
Mm.
Especially that the person has now been pulling a couple of months, actually invest in outpatient or get him into our aftercare. See how much they really wanted and just tell them that, look, I've got a nicer price for you. You'll be spending every second weekend at a nice place and giving back and restoring hope. Because at the end of the day, that will help you again and then that will give you the hope that you're looking for. And I know it's very hard. I know it's challenging. I still don't think they believe me at times. To be very honest with you, I don't really walk around with much cash. I started walking around with my own bank account the other day, which I know is being watched. I can guarantee you that because
No, it's good.
it happens in a split second.
Wow.
It happens in a split second and it's all gone.
But you triggered like, do you live in the same area? Because I'm always scared that if this person I know goes back to our area, that every corner, every house, every person knows this person. They and it's quick, man.
Look, to
You
be
don't
honest
really
with you, you should go through my WhatsApp now. I've got a lot of friends on right? I've got a lot of friends who are and for me to get it, it's very quick. But I made the decision that I can't. Because I can't afford to lose another loved one. I do not wish it upon anyone to bury a loved one while they are because that is what I went through. And that if me up to a point where I just lost completely and then I thought, no, but people are telling you that this is going to get you to heaven now. So how am I going to get to heaven if I'm still going to be smoking and things? But it's easily accessible. The area I do live in is there's a lot of nice places you can get nice stuff from. But I'm in my driveway, out of my driveway, into the wellness, out of the wellness. That's my routine. Yeah, I don't even look. Even there are times where I do sit on TikTok, I do watch my friends, I do feel like clubbing. But obviously you're gonna get branded. What do you do in a club? So what we'll do is sometimes we'll go out and I'll go to Capri's and I'll have like this long glass with ice and 10 Red Bulls in there and my little lemon on there and I'll
Good views.
just feel like come on man, I'm here, I'm
We're allowed to do that.
like come on man, and you still get judged for doing it either way.
True.
I am human. I've lived the better parts of life. I do want to enjoy my life.
Of course.
And I also want to show the other addicts that you can enjoy it. And that is why I tell them, look, this is what we do. We go out and we'll sit and I'll watch. Look, I'll sit from a distance and sometimes it bothers me because like, oh, that is like not bad. But it's the end of an era.
Yeah.
That's the end of my life. So do I, and then I step back and then I'll tell her like, look, okay, well, she tell me, look, wait, I think it's time to leave. So having a stable partner is very crucial. A support structure is very crucial. Like you giving that person that feelings like, well done to you for giving that opportunity because you never know when the change is there.
Yeah, my whole family. You know what
No, go for it.
You know what I loved is in the beginning you said, say drug addict. Don't say addict.
I'm a drug addict. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm a recovering drug addict. I'm proud of it.
A lot of people,
I get badgered on social media about it, but I don't care. I honestly, I'm at that point where what you say, your words is not.
Behind your back, they're gonna say drug addict.
Yeah, but I even on the you can call me drug addict, I'll just block it and then I'll move on. I'm happy. I'm proud. I'm glad you noticed it.
Yeah.
Tell me, you can't make up for lost time. We've asked for sorry and forgiveness. The tears have dried out. But with you having like a successful rate by helping other people, how does it touch your soul? I'm trying to put the words together in a good way. So I mean, you've had all your bad days, your dark days. Now you're doing so much good. Does it fill something up there? What does it do to yourself?
Or have you forgiven yourself?
Yeah.
Man, I doubt myself sometimes when I have the people that don't want to do it. It's not an easy journey. I thought it would be easy. I never thought it would come with more challenges because I expected it to be like what I put in is what I'm going to get out. Which, no man. I detested a lot. It does when, like with our second birthday coming up, I am very excited because from having last year, we had about 30 of them clean this year. I need to hire a bigger place now because I've got more of them clean. So yes, it is fulfilling. I do walk with my head up high.
Nice.
Sometimes I do want to just drop my head down because I can't save everyone.
Yeah.
And that is the sad
That's a
part.
tough part.
Is the sad part.
What is the root cause of drug addiction in Cape Town? In your experience, what do you think we need to do as a community to stop
People,
this?
places, and things.
People, places, and things.
Yeah.
Like the availability, the
Look, it's always gonna be
You
there.
rub your shoulders
It's been
with?
there. It's always been there. It's been there. I think our great grandparents have been smoking. What is this?
Buttons.
Buttons. Yeah, button copper. Professionals. They would like lay on the floor and smoke buttons. Today, I get youngsters coming in who I'll ask them like, "What's this on your forehead?" Now I smoked the button and then we played the game and we played on like what the f
Oh my, what is it?
button, yeah. So
Yeah.
family support is there. The friends very important, and don't try and be somebody that you're not. You know, that is where we all fall because I want to be like this person and that person, and
You
also
want to be in with the crowd. You want to
the
do the
kind
right
of
things.
music you listen to. If you really listen to the music, it's something that
Yeah.
triggers it.
Yeah.
100%.
That is
Sounds
why
like you do
today
it.
you get them like lean with it, pop with it, and they come in there and they try to commit suicide twice already because they're perkies and what is the syrup's name?
Lean.
Yeah, the lean.
People still do that stuff. Lean.
No, lean is like the English.
That purple stuff, no? With a big sort of Coke roll wine with a Sprite in it.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
it's
That's the thing now.
it.
That's
And I knew when I'm 34 years old, and I know when I was 18, my friends were doing that lean stuff. I didn't indulge. I was like, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather
Yeah,
be
it's the same
alcohol.
as heroin.
But
Yeah. The withdrawals are worse than heroin. Yeah,
like when you
when they
feel
come-
slow or something like that.
Yeah,
Syrup, you know, my syrup is
we
fine.
actually wait for them, like when they come in after the first day, then we wait for them to get their 2 fits quickly, and then we're like, okay, right, let's work.
There's cough mixture, isn't it, or something?
Definitely. But
It's
it's, all,
so-
it's
it's so
opiates. It's the same
Yeah.
as heroin. So it's just heroin you're gonna smoke, but then you're gonna
Okay.
drink, so it's a pure form.
Next level.
Yeah, and your Xanax also, and your Perkies, and yeah.
It's just shocking the different ways people use drugs, right? Like, what are the most common excuses how people got into drugs?
Man,
Friends,
blame your
parties.
family. Blame your family. Blame your mother. Blame their divorce. Blame your father. Blame not getting a job that you haven't tried.
As
There's a
an
lot of
escape.
excuses. Yeah, there's a lot of excuses in the book. And it all starts at the party, which I started at the party. And later on, you know, the friends become fewer because, look, I can't share this bag with you guys. Otherwise,
Yeah.
what about? And then the alcohol comes in because I need to get off that edge. And then,
Yeah.
you know, if I can't share. Because if I stole 100 right now, I can't give you like, come on, man. It's like, I put my life at risk here.
Hectic. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, guys. Wow. Muji. Such an inspiration. I'm lost for words, but got so much also to say. You really are inspiring so many people. And I know from myself and my family, this video is going to go very, very far.
Yeah.
I think anybody and everyone that's watching this can relate to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I love that you got your entourage with you, but it also just gives a feeling of like support and love and
Yeah.
like I think this is I don't know, they just bring a vibe. Never spoke to
Yeah.
your entourage, but I mean I think we got a good thing going there.
I do.
Solid
Rebecca,
foundation.
a solid foundation. But yeah, so that's episode 33, guys. Keep shining, keep thriving. We can't wait for what's yet to come, and I know you're gonna try your utmost best to do as your utmost best for other people out there. Love it, love it. And I love the energy, man. And before I know you want to cut the cameras, you said, what is this thing? A wheel?
Yeah, that I had to change when I set up. That was my before I started with the Wildest.
Okay.
I was like weird everything.
Okay.
We were making I was very rude on TikTok. In the beginning,
Okay.
And we was my thing.
No, well,
but
keep
I
it
still,
going.
Yeah, we still going.
Keep it going on a positive note. Episode 33, guys. Keep shining, keep thriving. And from our side, we say, life is good regardless.